All right, for all the agency owners listening in, we're going to break down a really fundamental shift happening in operations. We're talking about how to scale your output without burning out your team. This is a big one, so let's get right into it.
So, let's start with a question, and I really want you to think about this for a second. What if you could run your agency 24/7? Not by throwing more people at the problem, but by totally changing how the work gets done, with the team you already have.
Okay, so first, let's talk about the pain points, the things that drag every agency down. And we have to start with what I call reporting hell. You know the drill. It's that monthly marathon where your sharpest junior people spend like 2 or 3 days per client every single month just pulling data and trying to wrestle it into a story that makes sense. It's just a huge, massive time suck.
And then you've got the research bottleneck. This one kills me. Your creative team has this killer idea for a campaign. They're all fired up, but they're just stuck. They're waiting for competitor analysis, waiting for audience insights. And, that delay, that's the difference between being a trendsetter and just showing up late to the party. It can literally stall a huge client launch.
Oh, and let's not forget, content factory fatigue. We all know the rulebook, right? One big piece of content, like a webinar, should become 20 smaller pieces. But actually doing it, the manual grind of transcribing, rewriting, reformatting for every single platform, it's brutal. It just completely drains your team's creative juice and is a major, major cause of burnout.
So, what's the end result of all this? You're always playing defense. You're constantly reactive. You find out about a client's social media crisis hours after it blows up. You miss out on those perfect cultural moments because by the time you get the research done and approved, the trend is already over. The real cost of being slow, it's all those missed opportunities.
And here's the kicker. This isn't just some internal problem about being more efficient. No, this is a competitive threat. There's a whole new breed of AI-native agencies popping up, and guess what? They move 10 times faster. Why? Because they've automated all the grind work that's eating up most of your team's day.
Okay, enough with the doom and gloom. Let's flip the script. How are the really advanced agencies not just surviving but absolutely crushing it right now? Let's dive into the playbook that they're using. First off, client reporting is completely automated. Just picture this. It's the last day of the month, and poof, all your client reports just generate themselves, pulling from all the different platforms. And we're not talking about ugly data dumps here. We're talking about beautiful, client-ready reports in your own branded templates, with executive summaries already written. A job that took 2 days now becomes a quick 30-minute review. Number 2, your competitive intelligence is always on. I mean 24/7. Instead of doing these one-off research projects, you have an AI constantly watching what your competitors are doing online. You wake up to a daily digest that says, hey, competitor X just launched a new ad campaign. Here's what they're saying, and here's how we think you should respond. It completely shifts your team from being reactive to being proactive. It's a huge advantage. Third, and this is a game changer, is the content multiplier. This is where all that painful repurposing work just becomes easy, systematic. You just take one long piece of content, like a webinar, and you feed it to an AI. It understands it, summarizes it, and then spits out dozens of different assets, all perfectly tailored for different platforms.
And I mean, look at the scale of this. It's just transformative. You take a 1-hour webinar, and from that single hour, you get LinkedIn posts, you get Twitter threads, a few email newsletters, and even a bunch of scripts for your Reels or TikToks. 1 hour of your time now powers weeks and weeks of content. It's incredible. And finally, launch ops. So when your client ships a new product, an automated system kicks in. It submits the product to over 90 different directories. It starts tracking for any press coverage, and it flags new PR opportunities for you in real time. Your team isn't doing that tedious outreach anymore. They're focused on the high-value strategic stuff.
Okay, this all sounds great in theory, right? But what does it actually look like day to day? Let's check out what this automation looks like in action. So here's a dashboard, for example. You can see all your client reports in one place. See that TechCorp report? It's already 95% done. It's in a branded PDF ready to go. It's just waiting on one last data sync from Google Analytics before a human gives it a quick once-over. Simple.
Now this is where it gets really cool. This is that daily Intel digest. And it's not just raw data, it's actual insight. See how it flagged a competitor's new pricing? But look closer. It also noticed they're hiring a VP of marketing. Now that is a huge signal. It means they're getting ready to scale up, and it gives you a head start to plan your own countermove.
And here we go. This is the real output from that content multiplier we talk about.
The only thing that went in was a 45-minute webinar transcript. And look what came out. A whole content calendar's worth of stuff. And these aren't just random bits of text. They're tailored posts with hooks, hashtags, CTAs, everything, ready to go.
All right, so I know what you're probably thinking. This all sounds amazing, but how do I actually build this for my agency? Good question. Let's break down how you can get your own engine up and running.
So it all starts with building the basic infrastructure. There's a one-time setup fee, and that covers building out these custom automation engines and plugging them right into your existing workflows. You can think of it like laying the foundation for a whole new, more efficient way of working.
And then after that, it's just a simple monthly subscription. That keeps everything running smoothly. It covers all the maintenance, the software updates, and the support you need to make sure your automation engine is always on and working for you.
So what are we actually building for you? Well, it's those 4 core pillars we just walked through. You get the reporting engine, the competitive intel engine, the content multiplier pipelines, and the launch ops system, the whole shebang.
So the core system gives you that entire foundation. But for agencies that want to keep pushing the envelope, there's also an optional retainer. With that, we're constantly optimizing your workflows, adding your new clients into the system, and even building brand new custom automations as your needs evolve.
And the ROI here is immediate. I mean, we're talking about agencies saving 20 to 30 hours a month just on reporting and research alone. Think about that. That's time your team gets back to spend on what really matters: client strategy, creative work, and landing new business. You know, the stuff that actually grows the agency.
So really, the question is simple. Are you ready to stop grinding and start scaling? A really easy first step is to just book a 20-minute workflow audit. We'll hop on a call, map out your agency's biggest time wasters, and show you exactly where automation can make the biggest impact.
And just to make this no-brainer, the first 5 agencies that sign up get our competitor tracking service completely free for 3 months. It's a perfect way to see for yourself how having these proactive insights can totally change the game. Because at the end of the day, the future isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter.